Could it not be based upon God being involved, or based upon progressive revelation, progressive understanding? Could it not be that God was involved in all this, had a plan, and therefore brought about things slowly in order to accomplish that plan, knowing how people would react? And I think that's definitely, the final kind of answer to it all for me, is that there is an inductive approach that we have to take to this and to all the Gospels, into all the writings. And it's not until we put them all together that we actually do begin to have a comprehensive whole and begin to make our creeds like we do 300 years later, 400 years later, even like we do even sometimes today, and in the Reformation and these periods. Because we're able to put the Bible together, but God knew all this. He gave us all the pieces of the puzzle. And he once the pieces of the puzzle were delivered, and when Jesus Christ came, it was the central picture of him. It was to give this component to the puzzle we have never had, but he did give us the pieces. He didn't put them together for I don't think any of the gospel writers. I don't even think John. I mean, this is going to be really controversial. You know probably where I'm going here.
I probably disagree with you, but I usually do.
But this would be really controversial. But I don't think any of the individual gospel writers have individually as good an understanding as we do now. Now, that may be bizarre. I know. But once again, if I were to come to John and I say, John, listen, here's how you draw out the Trinity. Instead of writing John chapter 16, John chapter 14, 15, 16, and 17, let's do it this way. Let's put the Trinity together this way. I think we could, through our putting the Bible together, because we have the whole Bible. Paul didn't have the whole Bible. James didn't have the whole Bible. Even John didn't have the whole Bible. He just had lots of letters that were floating around, and he had more of it than anybody else. But at the same time, just because you're inspired, and this is in the Chicago Statement of Biblical Inerrancy. If you think I'm going crazy, the Chicago Statement of Biblical Inerrancy in 1979, which is a basic, very conservative statement about the interpretation of the Bible. 1980 is the Chicago Statement of Biblical Hermeneutics, how to interpret the Bible. Both of them say this, that just because we say an author is inspired, we do not believe that that author is omniscient. It just means in that which he wrote, he was correct, but it doesn't mean he had a full understanding of everything. So Peter can write in his epistle and say, you know what, Paul's written a bunch of stuff there, and I don't get some of it, and it's really hard to understand. And he could be putting it together himself. But everybody's just contributing a piece of the puzzle. Once that puzzle's out there, the puzzle pieces are inspired, but it's up to us to put it together and interpret and put a theology together. Our theology is not inspired. My definition of the Trinity, one God who eternally exists in three different persons, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, all of which are eternal and all of which are equal, that is not inspired. I believe it's true, but it's not inspired. It's how I put the puzzle pieces together. The pieces of the puzzle are inspired. They are perfect. The pieces of the puzzle in the Bible are inspired. They are perfect, but they are not put together for us.